guest was born in London. He went to America and became the mayor of Cincinnati. He very nearly became the governor of Ohio. His controversial daytime TV show is #1 in America and hundreds of other countries. He's about to bring his show here. Will you welcome Jerry Springer? Well, we don't have to ask what they've been watching.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you.
Jerry, it's sort of coming back for you in a way because you were born in London, weren't you?
I was born in London. I left when I was 5. Found out I couldn't be king. I said, then heck with that. And then I grew up in New York. But yeah, this is my place of birth. I was born in Hampstead. Yeah.
Finchley, Hampstead, halfway, somewhere around there?
Yes, on Littleton Road, right near Bishop's Avenue. Belvedere Court was the building.
There are people at home going, oh, we lived here.
Well, actually what happened is a couple of years ago, I was here doing something with the show, and I said, well, I took the staff and I said, I want to show you where I was born. So I went to the apartment house and went up 4 flights, knocked on the door, and the people opened. They were so nice. You know, they were saying, what's Jerry Springer doing here? But they were very nice. Come on in, and they gave me some tea, and they showed me around. And the place looked a little bit different, but still had memories of it. 2 years later, I come back to England, and I'm here with my sister. And Evelyn says, come on, let's go to where we live. I say, yeah, it's great. So we walk up the stairs, 4 flights, and she goes and knocks on the door next door, across the hall. I said, what are you doing? She says, here's where we live, not there. So we went in, people, oh, come on in. They gave us tea. You know, and it dawned, and they showed us around, and that clearly was the place. I was wrong. So when I left, I'm thinking, these people probably are talking to each other and saying, this guy Springer keeps coming by every year saying...
saying he lives here.
He lives here, trying to rob the place, you know.
Yeah, your parents were, the Jewish parents, and
yes.
You fled from Germany just before World War II, obviously,
right.
For obvious reasons, just before the war broke out. How long did you live here, then, in England?
5 years.
5 years. And then, I suppose, Mum and Dad said, well, the great American dream may be called.
Yeah, it really is. You know, without sounding corny, that really was the notion. I mean, my parents didn't, you know, we didn't have any money. We lost everything in Germany. And they got some money together, and when I and my sister were old enough, they took the Queen Mary over to New York Harbor, and there was the Statue of Liberty, and they worked, both parents worked every day of their lives.
What was their trade? What did they do?
My dad sold stuffed animals. He made some and sold them, you know, on the streets of New York and little shops and on the boardwalk, on the beaches. My mom worked in a bank. I mean, it was just 2 working parents. So
just you?
And my sister, so that we could both go to college and have a good life. I mean, it was incredible. In their lifetime, you know, they experienced the Holocaust. You know, I mean, you know, Hitler in Germany, and yet they lived long enough to see their son grow up in America and get to be a mayor. And
they saw that, did they?
They saw the mayor, and they saw me be a news anchor. Thank God they didn't see me do this show.
Before you came into television...
My mom would have hated it.
Would she really?
My mom would have hated it.
Would she give you a lecture?
Oh, yeah. My dad would have said, louder, louder. Well, my mom would have hated it, yeah. I mean, it's a stupid show.
Before it became the Jerry Springer Show as we now see it, the show started off sort of... well, it started off like a panorama-type program.
It was a more serious show, yeah. It started out legitimate. You know, we became a circus just a few years ago. And we never made the decision to purposely make it stupid and crazy. We did make the decision to make it young. Most talk shows were trying to be like Oprah and appeal to middle-aged people staying at home, whether it's housewives or house husbands, but people who, you know, in their middle ages. There was one talk show, Ricky Lake, that went after young people. And I said, why be a 1 out of 20 shows trying to be Oprah? Let's be 1 out of 2 and go after a younger audience. And that meant younger guests, younger people in the audience, young subjects like dating, stuff like that. Yeah. And that's what we did. So we started to go young. Well, young people do crazier things or are more willing to talk about the crazy things they do than older people are. And that's when the show started to become the zoo that it is today. I have great time doing it. I love doing the show. But I admit, it's a stupid show. It's just crazy.
Was that your influence? Did you say we got to buzz this up?
Well, as I said, my influence was to say I wanted the show to be young. Then we started running into young people that had these wild stories, and that caught on.
Yeah.
And what happens is people watch the show, so they decide, gee, I'd like to be on that. So when they come on the show, they copy the behavior of the people that have been on before.
Do you think that's what happens?
Oh, there's no question that happens. You know, sometimes when we had a boring show, we would put in bleeps even if they weren't cursing, just to make it seem like it was really wild.
Well, that's honest, Jerry.
Yeah, or we'd put a cover over the dress. Probably it was just fine, but made it look like, oh wow, man, he lost the dress. But
When you're standing there in the middle of all that screaming, screeching, scratching and punching, do you ever think, is this what I came into TV to do?
no, I'm usually thinking of, you know, where I'm going that night or something. I'm trying not to think. No,
Where do you find these people? I mean, how many
London.
stones you lift up to find? I mean, is it a little bit of the 15 minutes of fame thing? Or is it not, as some people have suggested, that they do get paid to act out these fights and these rows? Some of them.
Well, I don't know about other shows. No, they do not get paid. Obviously, they get paid the flight. I mean, we buy the plane ticket. But no, they don't get paid, because if you paid people, then they'd make up the stories just to make money.
You have been accused of exploiting people's sexual fans. The show has.
Sure.
And I guess, therefore, you've got your hand on a jug. Emotional failings, their emotional failings. What do you think when people are saying these things? I mean, it is...
We're guilty of a number of things. Exploitation is not one of them. News is guilty of exploitation, and I was a newsman. Then we were exploitive. Our show isn't. Let me show you the example, or talk about the difference. When I was doing the news, and this is true of news around the world, every day I would jam the microphone into the face of someone who didn't want to be on. Someone coming out of a courthouse, a family involved in a horrible tragedy. How do you feel? In other words, we, every day in the news business, report on people in a negative way. We hurt them. A newsman never says, if this story puts you in a bad light, if this story will hurt your marriage, hurt your career, embarrass your children, embarrass you in front of the neighbors, we won't run it. News says, no, this is a great story. We're going with it. This is great. Headlines. On our show, quite the contrary. You've got to beg to get on our show. You have to call us. We don't call you. You have to call us. And the only way you can get on our show, we're not in the phone book, is by getting the number off the screen. You get to say what you want to talk about. You're not allowed to talk about anyone who isn't there. So you're not allowed to badmouth somebody else.
That's interesting.
If you want to wear a disguise, you can wear a disguise. If you want to use a fake name, we'll give you a fake name. And if there's going to be a surprise, you are given a list of 21 possible surprises. On that list is the one that really is the surprise. You have to initial every one saying it's okay before you get on the show. So you can't ever then afterwards say, oh, gee, I didn't know it was going to be that. How could you do that to me on national television? The point is, we're purely voluntary, totally. News never meets that standard. News hurts people every day against their wishes. So I would argue strongly that news is in the business of exploitation. Run the story. It's a great headline. We'll sell papers. We'll get ratings. It'll be wonderful. With us, it's here's the microphone. Here's the platform. Here are the chairs. You want to come on and talk about whatever? It's your business. Come on. Love to have you.
You're bringing the show to Britain now. Right?
This week, we're taping 10 shows.
Are you worried that the Brits may be too reserved, the old stiff upper lip?
You know,
are they going to behave like these people?
Everybody, we've already taped 4 shows.
Oh, and what's happening?
You know what? There's no difference.
Really?
You're just as crazy as we are.
Is there anything in your show that you'd say, no, that's taboo, we're not going to touch that? Any subject that's, that's a step too far.
Normal behavior we wouldn't put on. Because our show's about outrageousness, so we wouldn't do that.
On Sunday, you got a show on, haven't you? It's called, it's called Springer on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, Springer on Sunday, Jerry Springer 10. I don't know what the title is.
Is that different, or is it just a...
Totally different. That's going to be a variety show.
Really?
In America, we have The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Or David Letterman, Jay Leno, where, I'll have a band and have celebrity guests, do comedy skits. Yeah, very.